Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Miss Faye and this is my world. Today's topic is men are becoming a little too feminine. They really are. We can see it everywhere. Before we get started, I'd like to say welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to all the new viewers. Welcome to all of the new subscribers. And a special welcome to you who have been with me from the beginning. I really appreciate you. Now let's dive into this topic. Let's look into it. Why are men becoming too feminine? Okay, I did pull a little description to get us all started so we all be on the same page here about what does feminine mean to a guy. All right. To a guy, feminine means being soft, gentle, one who wants to take care of others, gentle in nature. He looks at that as the feminine energy, and really, it is the feminine energy. But what is the masculine energy? All right. Now, realizing that men are the hunters, so we don't want them to be feminine. We want them to be masculine. Here's some features of the masculine energy. Cold, violent, uncooperative, and dishonest. You know what? I don't know where that came from, but no, I would not characterize that as the masculine energy. I would characterize the masculine energy as being strong, confident, a leader, a provider, and a protector. That's my definition of the masculine energy. And when I'm looking at a masculine, I'm looking to see that energy, that type of energy, not somebody who's soft and gentle, because no matter what kind of skin they're standing in, if he's acting like that, he's way too feminine. He's too much in his feminine energy. Realizing that we all have both. We all have masculine and we all have feminine. And sometimes in our lives, we may find it necessary to jump from one to another. For instance, with the woman going into her masculine energy, if she doesn't have a male partner with her, no masculine energy to help her, she jumps into her masculine energy so she can get things done. Because the masculine energy is an action energy. Okay? Now let's look at the man. When would he use his feminine energy? If someone got ill, he wants to be gentle. He wants to be caring. He wants to be supportive. That's the feminine energy. That's the time when a man would go into his feminine energy. You see? But then he comes back to be that strong, confident, protective, providing man, masculine energy. He'll come back to that. He won't stay in the feminine energy. And neither with a woman, because when a man comes on the scene, she'll go back to being soft in nature and allow him to hold that masculine spot in her life. You understand? But see, in today's society, they got they're trying to switch the roles. And what that is evil influence. Evil influence, trying to actually destroy the masculine energy. By destroying the masculine energy, it actually destroys the planet, because without the masculine energy, the female energy cannot procreate. You understand? And procreation is not just about, having babies. It's about the earth procreating. Cannot survive without the masculine energy. But this low vibrational evil energy is actually trying to destroy the masculine energy. Okay? And, this is a spiritual channel, and I give it to you through a spiritual perspective. So I did pull a video on why our men are becoming too feminine. Let's look at this short video, and we have a letter. Then we're going to read this letter and see what it's all about. Okay? Here we go.
A hyper feminine man. He likes to be chased. He's not in the pursuit of what he wants. He wants to be pursued by somebody or something.
Okay, you see what he said? Now, personally, I like a man who can fix things. And he's masculine. He knows how to get greasy. He knows how to go out there and work on the cars and get them all running. He can build stuff on the house and do it. That's the kind of man I like. To me, that is true masculine energy. And the man, this type of man, protects his family. He loves his family. He's not about the streets. That's the kind of man I like. But in today's society, I guess unless you live in a certain part of the country, it's hard to find that kind of man anymore. These men, many of them, look more feminine than they look masculine by the way they dress. They come out with those little skinny pants on, with no socks on, with patent leather shoes on. All that looks feminine to me. It really does. I don't know about you ladies. You let me know in the comments what you think about that. But it doesn't look masculine to me. All right, let's read this letter and see what she says. I just turned 19 on the 1st. Okay, you still a baby. And she titles her letter, Why Am I Steadily Attracting Men with Sugar in the Tank at This Young Age? It's frightening, isn't it? It's frightening. Okay. You say, I just turned 19. I just got one question because I've been watching you for about a month now, and you really give me that knowledge that most people my age need to get. But I was just watching your video about why are straight men cheating with men. And I had a boyfriend, we grew up together. We would have made 6 years this year. But basically, I found out that he has some type of thing going on with a tranny. Well, you know what type of thing it is. You know exactly what type of thing it is. He denied it, of course. And of course, I left him alone and left the whole situation alone. But I know I am human and I have feelings and emotions. And I'm a young lady at the end of the day. And I still think about that until this day. It's so crazy because I was talking to this one boy. He's like 10 years older. And I'm not looking for any type of relationship. But I just feel like the boy has some sugar in his tank. And I'm not going to ignore the red flags because I feel like I've been through this before with my ex. Okay. But I don't have concrete proof about the man 10 years older than me. So I pretty much just blocked him. And I'm not going to entertain it because I feel like I don't know if God is giving me a sign or testing me. No, this is not a sign or testing you because you meet men who are more feminine. You see, this is something that's sweeping the nations. It's an energy that is actually trying to change the men into feminine energy. It's trying to destroy the masculine energy. It's a spiritual phenomenon. Okay? So I blocked him, and I'm not going to entertain it because I feel like I don't know if God is giving me a sign or testing me. No, this is not a test and this is not a sign. But I don't know what I should do. Okay, all right, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this spirit that's sweeping the country. All right. Remember, people, that we are in a spiritual warfare. There's no way to get around it. And the men are complying to what they are seeing, just like the women do. The women, look at it. The women, what they see is naked women in the magazines, on the movies, beautiful naked women walking the street, out in the open. But just so you know, they'll go to a fancy ball and they'll put a Band-Aid on and they ready to go. The Band-Aid and some heels and we ready to go. What kind of image is that for women? When you go out, you might, put on more than a Band-Aid, but not much more. Because you want to be like that star that came out, showed you this. It's the same thing with the men. The men see we'll say role models, whether, sports guys, they watch basketball, baseball, sports and all that. So when they see their heroes come out in these tight suits that can only button, one button is, you understand, tight suits. And then they have on leggings. They call it, the pants, the leggings. It's nothing but a legging. And no socks and patent shoes. That's feminine. That's all feminine. So when they see that and they go to the store to buy something, that's what they buy. Because they want to be in the trend of things. And then when they hear that these men are dipping and dabbing with each other, it's an energy, people. It's an evil energy that's sweeping through. And it really will take a strong individual to say no to this energy. To say no to it. And that's why I say, even you ladies who have boys, you already have children, you have young boys, watch them now. Even if you don't have a man around, because I know they say men are turning out too feminine because they don't have a man in the house. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. Because I raised boys and none of them are feminine. So it's not that. It's not that. It's an energy. It's an evil spirit that entices them, peer pressure to fit in. All of that is an evil spirit. And before you know it, they're doing just what everybody else is doing. And then they have something to regret later. Regret it. Okay? But, ladies, this is why I tell you to protect yourself. You're just, now from the letter, you're just 19. You're just starting out. And you're already seeing it. But don't be disheartened. Decide what you want and don't settle for less. And when you meet someone, take your time with that someone. You got plenty of time. Don't rush into anything. And please don't rush into sex. But no, don't hook up just to anyone and then find out down the line that he's sleeping with you, but he's also sleeping with a number of other people, including men. You don't want to find out that later because it's very heartbreaking and damaging. And you may not find it out until you're married if you rush into something like that. Rush into a marriage. Rush into a relationship. Take your time, people. Because this spirit that is changing men is a serious spirit. It's a serious spirit. And the spirit knows that if it can destroy the masculine energy that pushes the feminine energy, more toward being masculine. So some energy is not going to be existing if one is destroyed. And the whole balance of the universe will be destroyed. Because the universe depends on the masculine and the feminine. But men today don't seem to be aware that this energy is taking them over slowly, little by little. You see, if they were aware of it, maybe they wouldn't do it. Now, with the young culture, you remember when the evil spirit got all the men to pull their pants down around their butts, trying to say this is the new trend? And all the young men pulled their pants down until they realized what it was. A signal to homosexuality. This is how it works, people. That's why I say, ladies, guard yourself. You want a man, and there are wholesome, good men out here, but you just got to take your time. And don't be fooled by glitz and glamour or a lot of smoke and mirrors. Don't be fooled by any of that. Get to know who the person really is. I mean, really is, down to the bare facts if you can. And that takes time. So don't jump into any relationships. Don't be pushed into any relationships. And this will help you to ensure that you'll have something solid because you work at it. But he's got to be willing to work at it too, which means that he's got to be willing to be celibate for a while. Be with you and show you that he's the person for you. That takes work. That takes work. You got to see if he's willing to work. Ladies, we're willing because we want him. But if he's not willing, he's not the one. I know what happens. Many of us, because we have been maybe by ourselves for a while. And then when the man finally comes along and he's a nice looking man and he's talking sweet things, it's easy just to fall into it. You're flattered and excited about this person and blinded to all the red flags this fool is carrying. Blinded to it. And you don't see it until it's way too late. Ladies, go run that background check on him. You see? First. Do that first. So all his sweet talking, it better be in line with what you know you found out in the background check. Okay? Then, watch his mannerisms. How he acts. How he acts around you. Does he want you to chase him? That's feminine. That's the feminine energy that requires you to chase. The masculine energy is supposed to chase the feminine energy. But if your man wants you to chase him, that's being feminine. You see? These are things you need to look at. Does he have a best friend that he's with all the time? Watch out for that. You don't want that. You don't want a man that's got a best friend. And if he has a best friend, you're going to know it real soon in your dating experience. The best friend is going to show up, calling on the phone or something. They just that close. Okay? Watch the way he dresses and his beauty routine. Does he go to the salon to get his face all done up and his nails all done? And look at that. Does he polish his nails? I would never date a man who polishes his nails. I think it's feminine. Now, women, it's a choice. What you consider as being masculine and feminine. I tell you what I consider as being masculine. and what I consider as being feminine. Now, I've seen a lot of relationship counselors out here who talk about the masculine energy, but they look feminine. Okay? So, and many times these counselors who are presenting the masculine energy, they're talking about you being submissive to it. It's important for you to know the difference between the two, the masculine and the feminine. Both are needed in the universe. Both are needed, but both are needed to be strong. Okay? Women, by you being strong, confident, independent, you can still be feminine in your feminine energy. Now, you'll use a lot of your masculine energy to be action orientated to make that happen. That you can support yourself. That's the masculine energy. Okay? But you can be feminine. You can be feminine. Okay? So I don't want you to confuse the two. All right? But if a man is looking for you to support him, and you can look at it, he it won't be blatant, but if you are feeding him, if he's using your car, if he's living at your home, then yeah, you are supporting him. Okay? And even if he gives you a little bit for the rent, it's a lot of expenses that happen in a home. So no, you are supporting him. He is feminine. He is in his feminine energy. He's not masculine. This is what I want you to understand, ladies. And I really hope that it helps someone. And that's even if he looks masculine and even if he talks masculine. Because, even a lot of the rappers, how they look real tough. But a lot of them are feminine. They're in their feminine energy. So be aware of that, And if you love yourself, you can be guarded against a lot of that. It will open your eyes to really a lot of that, okay? Love yourself, take care of yourself, and be aware of these things. I hope that I've said something today that can help someone. Now, those of you who have questions that you would like for me to answer, I have put my email right in the description. And also those of you who are looking for your affirmations, and for today, also in the description. I want to thank you so much for supporting this channel. Thank you for your comments and your letters. And a special thank you to those that leave a donation. It really helps the channel to grow. I wish you all the very best and happiness, and I really hope to see you next time.